Are you fed up of not knowing what's important to you? Are you fed up of just going through your life and not knowing what your values are, what you need to do that's in alignment with yourself? Well, I want to share with you one tool today on how you can overcome that problem. Hi guys, it's JT here, and as I said, I want to share with you one tool today. So people go 10, 20, 30 years. I've met some people who are in their 40s and 50s and they don't really know what's important to them in their life. So for me, that was definitely an issue up until around a couple of years ago. I didn't know what my values were. I didn't know what was important to me in my life. And what that created was a misalignment with myself, a misalignment with who I was as a person. But the downside to being misaligned with your authentic self is it creates a lot of internal issues. Often this can lead to mental health issues, but that's a separate subject that I'm not going to go into today. But these internal issues, these could be things like stress, bad behaviors, anger. We could weaken our relationships with other people, disconnection from other people and from ourselves, demotivation. Some of these things are things that I've experienced, and this is a tool that I want to share with you today. Right now, I'm going to draw it for you on my little board here, little whiteboard. I'm going to show you what you can do to identify what's important to you. This will help you not become, because it's not a win. You don't achieve it. It's a journey, and that's quite important to understand. Being authentic to yourself is a journey. It's a process, because as you develop, as you get older, and as you go through experiences in life, these things will change. What's important to you will change. So the reason I want to do this now, because it's coming towards the end of the year, and December is a fantastic time to reflect back. And now a lot of people say never look back, only look forward. Well, that's great, but when we come towards the end of the year, it's great to look back and see what our wins are, what our losses are, and so how we can improve to go forward into the next year. And if you've never done this, if you've never had the opportunity, or no one's ever shared with you the tools on how to be more authentic or how to align with yourself more, then this is so important to you. This is an incredible tool that you can use today. So I want you to, if you've got a piece of paper, take some time out of your day, listen to this, pause the video, go along with me as I do this. So I've done this exercise and it was very, very powerful. And it's a 2-step exercise. Okay, so first what I need to do is I want you to get a piece of paper. So let me just get my pen out here. Let's get a piece of paper, a board. It's not as easy to do on the computer, so I suggest writing it down. So this is why I do it. I'll do it on this board. So what I want you to do is I want you to draw a timeline. And these are the 2 axes. So this axis is time. And this axis is your emotion. Now, this line here, this little drawing line, I want this to be the 0 line, essentially, as in zero feeling. It meant nothing to you. And then up here, I want you to write, for example, call it a 10. This is the most happiest you've ever been. This is the emotion is excited, it's happy, it's engaging, it's motivating. And then down here, it's the opposite. So it's I call it a -10. It's sad, it's demotivating, it's frustrating, those kinds of emotions. So now you can do this for your entire life. This is called a life timeline, right? So I write the top there, life timeline. Sorry about the writing, write this pretty quickly, because I want you guys to take this away. I'm going to do this in the back of over the course of a year, right? So call this time, call this 2019. Now what you can do, if this is the end of the year, this is the start of the year, I want you to go back and remember as many of the events in your life as possible. These could be turning points, big events, small events, events which created high emotion for you, create success, things that set you off in a different direction in your life. And I want you to put in a scale where it is. So for example, I'm going to go through it for mine. This year, I'll start somewhere in the middle. This is what I can remember. Often what we find, so this is another important tool. Often what we find is that we can remember the big events. And those events are great because either we know how we felt, whether it's sad or happy. What we often don't remember is the small events. And these small events are the things that shape us throughout the year, because these are the things that chip away at us or build us throughout the year. So that's where it gets quite in depth. So for me, for example, I'm going to go back to a couple months ago. So only as of, well, I started last month. This is the end of the year. So I did a talk, and I did a talk to a team of colleagues and people that I don't know before, and I was teaching them about the behaviors of leadership. And what that was really a chance for me to do is test out my material and see if people actually liked what I was saying and whether that actually resonated with people, the niche market people. And they did. They took it away. They said, actually, this stuff is really, really powerful. But what we want you to do, what we feel like you should do, is go more in depth. So give us more. And that was a really plus point for myself. So that was a really high moment in my life. That's somewhere up in the 8s and 9s regions up here. And then obviously you can just write down what that event was and then the emotion, how that made you feel. So for me, it was motivated, it was recognition. And then I'll go back a few months when I released I'll go for one to read very recently. My first set of business cards arrived. So that's round about here. Again, that's probably not as happy, but it was happy. They came back, they were nice, they looked professional, and it means I was going in the right direction. Go back a few more months, publish a book that I never thought I'd be able to publish. Never thought I'd be able to do this. And I was like, so if you don't know, my book is Managers Are Not Leaders. It's out on Amazon. I haven't got a copy in this room right now, but it's out on Amazon. It's a self-published book, and it's a lot of the stuff that I talk about. It's about leading your life, leading your career, leading relationships. So if you're interested in that, search on Amazon, Managers Are Not Leaders, and download it. There's an ebook version and a paperback version. So that back here, that was only a couple months ago. So for me, that was a 10. That was one of the most proudest moments of achievements of my life. Then I can go back a couple more months, started my website, started my business, and started blogging. So that's maybe around halfway through the year. So for me, that's probably like a 9 or a 10. I was scared, anxious, but good anxious, because I was taking on this new journey, this new chapter. I go back even more, a couple months. I attended a seminar event, which really helped shape the way I communicate and actually understand myself. So for me, well, before that, thought it was going to be a load of bullshit, to be honest. But when I went in there, when I came out of it, I was like, wow, actually, this is really, really powerful stuff. So for me, that was like a 10. That was a transformation moment. But then before that, so you might be thinking, oh, you got loads of highs, you've had a great year. And yes, I have had a great year. First year living with my wife, we moved in together, setting up the house. I thought, yeah, it's been a great year. But there has been moments. So for example, now I'll go back in the smaller, probably less, not as impactful parts of my life, because I managed to train myself out of it. But low points in my career. So when I find myself demotivated, when I was struggling to get up and actually go to the office. So these were like somewhere halfway throughout the year. That's down here. I'm feeling quite demotivated. So I'll write that down there, demotivated. Before I went to the seminar, this was back in March. So this is around March time. Before that, I was lacking direction. So this is probably in my relationship with my wife. I was absolutely so happy. Because so in tune and going forward, I'm really happy for the relationship. But personally, outside of my own purpose in life, I had a lack of direction. So this is probably, I was down here, and so the lack of direction. This is a really tough moment in my life. The idea is to go through this, and this timeline, this could be 2019, this could be 2018, this could be your entire life, however many years this is. What you start to do is you start to build a picture, and you start to connect the dots. It could be somewhere down there towards the end of the year. I don't know, maybe I had an argument. It could be smaller things. Like I fell out with one of my friends earlier in the year, and that was quite a bad moment for us. I felt like I reacted quite poorly. So I believe that's somewhere around here. So again, you start to build a picture. And what you then start to understand is, okay, so how have you felt throughout the year? And if a lot of these things are in this region. So the negative emotion side of things, the negative behaviors, the negative consequences, it's time to take action. It's time to do something and get yourself up into this region. If you've spent a lot of time in this region, incredible. You've had a great year. Don't forget, things might change. So it's understanding what has kept you happy so that you can use that to go forward into the next year. You can use those wins as successes. Celebrate those successes. Something we don't do enough is go back and look at ourselves and think all the good moments we've had and celebrate those successes. Same for the negative side of things. Yes, okay, you might have had a bad year, but take the positives out of it. What positives can you take out of that? So that you can then, this is the next step. I should have clarified that. If you're in this region, the negative region, go through each of your events and identify the key points, the key things that made you feel the way you did, right? Then look, so you'll probably find there's be a couple negative things. Then try and look for the positives. What have you learned? How did you feel better after you've had that conversation with someone? Did you when you went from this part up to here and you started to feel a bit better? What did you do in that situation? What worked for you? What didn't work for you? So these are the things that you can learn from this region here. And then, like I said, in the positive region, you can learn, you can take these events. What did you do well? What successes did you take? How did you get from there to there? These are things that can really make a difference going forward in your life. When you identify them and become self-aware of what affects you mentally, physically, you can then start to control it. So that's very important. That's why this tool is so powerful. We're so busy. We're busy creatures. Even if we're not doing something, I'm not saying you have to run a business, you don't have to write books. Just generally in our lives, we're busy. We're always doing something. But never do we go back and think to ourselves, okay, how did I get to this point? Like I see it all over social media now. Wow, where's the year gone? It's December. Oh my God, it's gone so quick. What have I achieved? What have I done? Towards the end of the year, towards the end of this month, you're going to start seeing people say, what have I done with my life? You'll start hearing that. What have I done with my year? And then you're going to get into the resolutions. Okay, so I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to start reading more books. And this is a little side rant, but resolutions for me it's like people want to make them so that when they break them, they go, oh, well, I did it for a few weeks. And then that's it. They totally forget about it. So this is the thing. It's because we don't go back and look at what we've achieved, how we can control it. So this gives us the ideas of how we can go forward and control our behaviors so that we can keep ourselves in this region. And I'm not saying that you're never going to go down here because you can't control some of that things, but it's understanding then how you can turn that around and create that turning point in your life to bring you back up here. And that's what's so powerful. So now I'm going to take you on to this next step. I'm just going to rub this board off here. I'm going to take you on to the next step. And this is so when I got taught this tool, I got taught this when I was training to be a coach. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was some really powerful stuff. It's worked for me. I use it. I do it every year. And I hope it works for you. Like I mentioned earlier on in the video that I've got a book out. It's called Managers Are Not Leaders on Amazon. I haven't got a copy here with me now, but if you're interested in understanding more about how you can lead your life through behaviors, then that book is definitely for you. And if you want to learn more about tools and tips like this and how you can better lead your life, lead your career, lead your relationships, then read some of my blogs. My website it's in the description below. It's in the link. It's pmgrowth.co, and I've got loads of great value on there. And all I ask of you is that if you find that this information is valuable to you, share this video with someone so that they can take the value from it too and go on and implement it into their daily lives too. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching this video. I feel very privileged, and I hope to see you on the next video. Click the subscribe button somewhere along here if you liking these kind of videos, I've got so many other videos that you can watch and learn from. Thank you very much. This is JT signing out.